Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aspire Sports Show. I'm Tyler, reporting live from Nissan Stadium here. We got a ton of stuff to get to you. If you have any questions, please ask in the chat. We're live, so let's do this. So let's kick it off. Big player news. We have, I don't know if he's officially been ruled out of this game yet. I know that it said he wasn't expected to play, was Aaron Jones. So definitely some big player news. Michael Thomas, obviously not playing this weekend, and he could possibly be out for week 8 as well. So that's something to keep your eye on for next week. Other player news, we have Justin Jackson is officially going. I know some people were worried because they signed Pope off the practice squad this week, but he's officially going in this game. I don't, me personally, I saw some people freaking out on Twitter. I don't know why, because he was a full practice on Friday. They just only had 2 running backs on the roster, and I don't think that they were comfortable with that, so they signed Pope to the official roster. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to go through some player props here. Player prop wise, if you're not signed up for Thrive Fantasy, right? Thrive Fantasy, they specialize in player props. Make sure you sign up today. Use code Aspire, and you get $10 off of, well, not $10, I should say. You get a deposit matchup up to $50. So free money, right? Free money. Use code Aspire. And let's just go ahead. And we have a question here already. So Gronk or Jimmy Graham? Me personally, I'm going Gronk this week. I think Gronk is. I was wrong about him last week, right? I was talking about Cameron Brayton. Gronk, he's looked pretty good. So I think Gronk this week, I'd go Gronk. What about you, Kyle? Who would you play?
Last week I did. I actually deferred from you and I said Gronk. So I do kind of like him moving forward, but with Antonio Brown coming back and if he's actually an element in that offense, I don't know about him as much in terms of target share. But him and Brady have been together so long, there's got to be something there. So you could make a case, I'm sure.
Yes, and there's another one here on Twitter. They say Antonio Gibson, Justin Jackson, Jamal Williams, or McKinnon. A lot of good options here. I don't think you could really go wrong with one. Um, so a couple things I want to talk about. I mean, from this one alone, right? So we have Justin Jackson. What do we expect from Justin Jackson? Justin Jackson's obviously going to be sharing the backfield with Joshua Kelly. Although last time we've seen them play, Joshua or Justin Jackson looked better than Joshua Kelly. The Jacksonville's rush defense is, I believe, bottom 5 in the league right now. All overall defense, they might be right there with Atlanta and like worst defense in the NFL. They might even be the worst because they're terrible against the pass. They're even worse against the run. So it's just a terrible defense here. So now you have Joshua Kelly, Josh Herbert, right? Keenan Allen. They're going to come in here and I think destroy Jacksonville here. So, but me, I like Justin Jackson a lot this week. I'm not worried about Joshua Kelly. I think both of them can share the backfield and be successful, but I think Justin Jackson's a better player. Secondly, you have Jamal Williams. What is this going to look like this week now with AJ Dillon here as well? So we have AJ Dillon. What's his workload going to be? Is Jamal Williams going to get all the carries here? I don't think so. Me personally, I think AJ Dillon's going to be like the running back. He's going to be kind of between the tackles guy, and then Jamal Williams is going to be their pass catcher. So that's just what I think. And then you also have Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick. Now, what do we expect from this game? Last week, J.D. McKissick outsnapped Gibson. Has done it the past 2 weeks. Is that the trend going forward? I don't know. This is a terrible Dallas defense, especially against the run. Possibly, I think that both of them are in play against this defense, honestly. And on FanDuel right now, DFS wise, J.D. McKissick's 5,200 against maybe the worst rush defense in the NFL, one of them. So also bottom 5. So I'd like J.D. McKissick this week as well. So a lot of good players there, and I didn't even really give one just because just go with your gut, and that's what it comes down to. You can't go wrong with any of them. Let's go to the next question here. We have fire up the flex. No, need one wide receiver, running back, Allen Robinson, AJ Brown. CD Lamb, boy, geez, do people just ask their whole team like, please tell me who to start? Um, I mean, definitely Allen Robinson. I would start here. Josh Jacobs, you need one running back. So Josh Jacobs, Jamal Williams, Gibson. I mean, definitely Josh Jacobs. You have to go him. I know this is a terrible matchup, but Josh Jacobs. And then flex, I would probably go Geo. Geo's going to see a lot of work this week. Um, and let's go ahead into our next question here. I'll let Kyle take this one. DJ Chark or we have Deontay Johnson. Your mic's not on.
Mike, I mean, first game back for Deontay. It's obviously with Claypool's production, you're kind of curious as to like if him and Ben are gonna get right back into the groove. Chark, a lot of people aren't really that big on, so I don't know. That is kind of tough, but a lot of things that people aren't talking about is with the Titans and Steelers is everybody wants to talk about Steelers defense versus the Titans offense, and really nobody's talking about the Steelers offense versus a statistically really bad Titans defense. I mean, they're bottom 25 in almost every statistical category. So I think you might see Ben really dividing the ball up, and you may see a Deontay touchdown and maybe 80 some yards. I don't see him being the featured player of the game, but DJ Chark may have more of that potential than Deontay Johnson would. So keep that in mind. I might play Chark just because it's Deontay's first week back, and I don't know what to expect.
I agree. I don't. I'm not necessarily. I like Chark just because he's fully healthy right now, but I'm not really that worried about Deontay Johnson. I think that this game is going to be somewhat high scoring against Pittsburgh and Tennessee, so I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities for him. He was seeing like a 30% target share before he got hurt. Now, the emergence of Claypool, does that change things? Certainly. But I also think it does benefit him as well. Like at the same time, it kind of hurts him, but it also benefits him because Claypool's a upgrade from James Washington. So now, who are you going to focus on as a defense? Are you going to focus on Claypool? Are you going to focus on Deontay? So I think it
And
kind of benefits both
I
of
don't
them.
remember if it was a player for the Titans or like a coach, assistant coach or something, but I think it was a player, and I think it was one of the safeties. I can't remember, but he said we can't really afford to double team anybody. So it looks like their game plan won't be, hey, we're gonna go out and double this guy and take him away, because they really can't. They're not very deep in their secondary. They have a lot of injuries, so it's something to look at.
Agreed.
More questions?
This is tough
Anybody?
with only two people.
Yeah, I know. Any questions? Anybody? Oh, Derek. Question: Cam Newton versus San Francisco, or Tannehill versus Pitt? That is a pretty good question. What do do you want me to answer? Or do you want to
You can go first. I'll
go?
go next.
That is a good question. I just with Cam Newton's rushing potential, especially in the red zone, it's so hard to. I mean, not that Tannehill doesn't have that either, but he doesn't need to have it with Derrick Henry. And I just think this week again, I don't necessarily see Tannehill being the factor for the Titans. Like if you go back to their two playoff wins last year, Tannehill didn't break 100 yards passing in those games. So I just think if they're going to win today, it won't be because of Tannehill. It'll be because Derrick Henry just went off. So I just think Newton has that potential, and San Francisco's front line is not very good. So I could see him getting maybe one or two rushing touchdowns today.
Yeah, I'd go Cam Newton just because of the rushing upside, and I'm not that worried about San Francisco. Like I'm not worried about their defense. Their defense has been pretty beaten up by injuries, so I think
Especially their
honestly, I
front.
think he's
Their
yeah. So I
secondary's
think he's good.
been all right. It's been all right, but yeah, their front's not great. Dawson Scotch, thank you for watching, buddy. Tonian, Toenailsian, no,
No,
Tunyon.
no.
Uh,
Tunyon, yes,
Tunyon
Tunyon, like
or
Funyun.
Jimmy Graham? I have to drop one and add a kicker. Need some advice. Tyler, I'll defer
It's
that one to
tough.
you.
Um, so I'm gonna say this, and maybe it could come back and bite me. But Tunyon, I would drop him. Now I know everybody was super high on him because he had two really good weeks, maybe three decent weeks. One of them was a decent week, but three really good weeks in a row. He played New Orleans and he played Atlanta. Two worst, well, two friendliest teams against the tight end this year. So now he plays with Rodgers. Obviously Adams is back. And I'm going to say this because history has a thing of repeating itself, right? Rodgers has never used a tight end. He's never had a top 10 tight end except I think like 1 year with Jermichael Finley. But other than that, never. He's had Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, he's
He's had
had
other
Jimmy Graham. Yeah.
decent tight ends. So me personally, Tunyon, maybe he's a good player, but I don't like him necessarily. And I think Houston is terrible against the run. So they're going to be able to run. I know, Aaron Jones isn't there, but I have faith in A.J. Dillon and Jamal Williams. And so I personally would drop Tunyon. It could come back to bite me though. We'll see. He didn't have that good of a week last week, but also played against the Bucks, and the Bucks are pretty good. So I'd go Tunyon though. So let's go ahead into another question here. On well, did you want to say anything or no?
Not really. I mean, I just think Jimmy Graham is. I mean, it's just I never have an opinion because you don't know what to expect with him. So I would just go Tunyon just to be safe.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, you're welcome, Dawson. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Let's go to a question on Twitter here. Let me get this pulled up. Okay, so we got AJ Brown, Amari Cooper. Jeez, some people list so many players for one spot. Okay, flex spot. So AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, Jamal Williams, or David Johnson. I really, for some of them, you can't go wrong. Really, I don't think any of them is a bad choice. Me personally, I'd say I'd say Amari. Like I know this Dallas defense has not looked good, or not the Dallas defense, just the Dallas team in general, especially on offense. But at the same time, Amari's Amari, and I think this is like the AJ Green for Dalton, and I think he's going to get him the ball. He's just too good. So me personally, I would go Amari. But I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. Let's go to another question here. We have Teddy Bridgewater and Matt Ryan. Who would you go, Kyle? I mean, I feel like it's pretty easy.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. I just see the upside of that. That offense is starting to groove, and I mean Teddy
They're
Bridgewater.
different with Julio. When
Yeah,
Julio's healthy, they're really good.
exactly. Because he's just a guy you can't afford to not know where the hell he is at all times. I mean, that's just
Yeah, and then they have Ridley, so it's just too many. Those two together are just way too good. I will say this. I think that Bridgewater is a pretty good play this week. Um, I don't. I'm not like New Orleans defense hasn't really been that good this year. They've been pretty underwhelming actually. So me personally, I think that Bridgewater is a decent play, especially in DFS. He's pretty cheap, so if you want to pay in like the 6K range, he's in the 6K range, and he's pretty, decently cheap to get to. And you have plenty of stacking options with Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. You can even go Mike Williams in this game. Also Bridgewater had his most rushing attempts and rushing yards last week. 8, I believe he went for 48 yards, something like that. So if he's rushing potential is going to be there. The only thing that hasn't been there are the touchdowns. And touchdowns are incredibly difficult to project and to account for, and I think that's going to be coming. So, yeah, my take. Kyle, go ahead, take it over.
um. I was I'm kind of waiting for people. I was hoping somebody would ask me something on Twitter. Are we gonna talk about betting, or are you kind of mostly focusing on fantasy?
I mean, I can talk about whatever. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Um.
I have another question here, so I'll ask this one. Deontay Harris, who is Deontay Harris? Or AJ Green? Does he mean? I'm not sure who Deontay Harris is. Are you Damian Harris? Maybe I don't know who Deontay Harris is. Um, I'll say AJ Green because I'm not sure who Deontay Harris is. Um, I don't know if you mean Damian Harris, but if it's Damian Harris, I would still go AJ Green. AJ Green saw the highest. Well, he had 11 targets last week, second highest. He's had 13 before, so 11 targets. And he had his most receptions for most yards last week. Does that continue? And also, that was against Indianapolis, who we know Indianapolis is one of the best defenses in the league. So AJ Green might be coming on, and right now you have Joe Burrow averaging the most passing attempts in in this year. So he's throwing the ball a ton, and I'd imagine that's going to be kind of the trend in this game against Cleveland as well. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, but I just think they're going to throw the ball because I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball effectively with Joe Mixon out. So me personally, I like AJ Green.
All right, let's talk about this one then.
All right, let's go
Derek
to the next.
Carr.
All right,
Oh,
go
you
for
have a
it.
question? Do you have another
No,
question
go
on
ahead.
Twitter? Okay.
No,
All right, Derek Carr or Matthew Stafford?
that's Stafford. I like Stafford a lot this week. Plays against Atlanta,
Atlanta.
and
Yep.
hold on. You can. I want to just pull this up because I don't have this up. I had a pretty good segment here in my week 7 preview. I want to just get this pulled up because this is pretty crazy. Okay, Atlanta as a defense, especially their passing defense. Okay, listen to these stats real quick. So Atlanta, right now, they're giving up the most passing yards, the most passing touchdowns, the highest yards per attempt, the highest passer rating, the most passes of 20 yards or more on the season at 29. They've allowed that 29 yards of 29 passing plays of 20 yards or more on the season. Third highest completion percentage in the NFL right now. So this is a terrible, terrible secondary in Atlanta. So if Matthew Stafford, this is, last week was a really good opportunity as well against Jacksonville, but they ran the ball really well against Jacksonville, so you didn't have to do that much. Now, Atlanta is actually not bad against the run. They have Grady Garrett or Jarrett. I don't remember if that's. I don't know what his last name is. I don't know if it's Jarrett or Garrett. And as a run defender, he's actually one of the better ones in the league. So they're not terrible against the run. So I don't think Detroit's going to be able to just run the ball on them. So I think Matthew Stafford's going to have to play. They're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah,
And right
CBS.
now, I
Oh,
love him on DraftKings.
yeah, go ahead.
But
Finish what you're saying.
I love them in DFS. I love. There's so many stacking options in this game. You can go Stafford, Galladay. On the other side, you have Matt Ryan, Julio, Calvin Ridley, Todd Gurley. Just so many in this game. It's projected. I think it's like 55 or 56. I don't know what the over under is. So one of the highest scoring games of the slate. So yes, I love Stafford this week.
Yeah, the one and only bust alert is Ryan Tannehill this week. Um, and then right
Bust
next,
alert. That's the
yeah,
only bust alert.
yeah,
I
for
thought that you'd be
CBS.
bust alert. Eh.
Oh, Derek Carr is probably next up on that, and I just think it's interesting because like, what if he lights up that Tampa Bay defense and they expose it? I mean, I do think Derek Carr is really good. If you go back to before he broke his leg, the dude was on fire. So I don't think he's incapable. I think it just depends on that offense, which he's statistically doing just as good as most of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. So I don't think it's far fetched to think they might be able to put up a good show against Tampa. I don't know if they'll win, but on that defense, Tampa's defense is so good. They're just so quick. And man, when I watch them, it just makes me wonder the Steelers would have got Devin White. I mean, I love Devin Bush, but there was a lot of talk about Devin White's better, and I'm not saying he is. It's just he is really fucking quick, and that dude can shoot through a gap.
But so is Bush.
I mean, Bush is too, but
Bush is
Bush,
better because he's a Steeler.
yeah, but Bush has had a far larger learning curve so far, just because he's had to, because he has to make up for so much coverage in the middle of the
Well,
field.
he's the one. Yeah, because White has Levante David at least.
Exactly. Who is one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So
Vince
Bush
Williams
is
is
like, yeah,
great, but in coverage, I mean, God, he is abysmal.
terrible. That's why I'm. That's why honestly I'm worried a little bit this week because I do think like John Smith because Steelers play a lot of zone defense. So John Smith in the middle of the defense when you're going to have Spillane, who I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to be that good. I'm
This week I
sorry.
only like
And then you
him.
got
Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
and then you got Vince Williams, who we know can't cover
Yeah.
anybody. The dude is awful. He is so bad in coverage. So I think that the like Johnu Smith, I'm not worried about Derrick Henry, but Johnu Smith in the middle of the defense, I think he can eat him up just
I
because
will
of those two
say
guys.
the Steelers did call up J. Elliott, and they did give jersey to Ulysses Grant the third, or Ulysses
So he's playing
Gilbert. Ulysses Gilbert.
Ulysses
Ulysses S.
Grant.
Grant. Yeah, they brought him back from the dead. He's playing. No, Ulysses Gilbert, and those two are much faster than Spillane, so you could see those two playing forward. But the only reason why I think the Steelers have a chance of stopping Henry is because Spillane is actually a great run stopper. I mean, he's there. I was watching some film breakdowns of him, and he was actually shooting gaps. He knows what he's doing. They gave him a green dot. I mean, he had the mic as soon as he went in, and they're gonna let him use the mic moving forward. He's gonna be the QB of that defense. So they have a lot of faith in that guy. So I think you're right about tight ends. We could see a little bit of a flashback of 2018, but other than
And Mike
that,
Hilton's out in this game too.
yeah. But Cam Sutton, I think he's better. Honestly, I think he's proven he's very good. He doesn't have that blitzing ability, but he is better in coverage, and I mean, Pro Football Focus will prove that. He's elite in coverage, actually,
I
they
hope
say.
so.
But I guess he could be exposed today. He could be. I mean, Mike Vrabel's a great coach. The Titans are a really good team. But we're talking about
They
the
are. So
Pittsburgh
hopefully this.
Steelers. Yee! No, all right. Well, let's get into a different team other than the Stellar. We were talking about San Francisco, and we were talking about the Raiders. Now, I guess Derek Carr, maybe you don't love him, but if he's doing well, that means somebody else is doing well. Do you think this could be a big game for Josh
Who, Derek
Jacobs?
Carr? No. I really I don't want any part of. We just saw what Tampa Bay did to Aaron Rodgers with Adams back with Aaron Jones. Do I think the Raiders could be good? I mean, they did beat Kansas City, but Kansas City's defense is half of what Tampa Bay's is. So, me personally, I don't want any part of this. The only people that, if you're in a season long league and you do have Josh Jacobs, yes, you're playing him. DFS wise, no, I'm not playing him. The only other person that I would consider possibly playing is Darren Waller. Season long, yes, you're playing him. DFS, I don't think so. I mean, my favorite DFS tight ends right now are just so cheap. You have Njoku, who Austin Hooper's out, so Njoku's a good play, I think. And then you also, if you want to pay up for tight end, I would go up and pay for Kittle because I think Kittle's going to be good. So me
Do
personally,
you
I don't like anybody in Tampa Bay. Well, in
somebody's
the
picking
Raiders.
a running back or a flex off the waiver wire. They can't find literally anybody, and they see for some reason, or not even, I guess not even waiver wire. They're looking on the waiver wire, but they have Leonard Fournette sitting on their bench, and they don't want to play him because they're not confident. Do you tell that person nobody on waiver wire is worth playing this week? Leonard Fournette is worth playing, or no?
I mean that's tough because I don't know exactly who's. So I'll give some players that have low ownership that I'd rather play over Fournette.
Yeah, and I could name
So
some off while
JD,
you're thinking that.
all right. So JD McKissick right now I would play over Leonard Fournette. JD McKissick I believe is owned in like 20% of leagues, so I'd play over Fournette. I mean obviously if somehow, which I don't think they are, but I think even I'd rather even play AJ Dillon over Leonard Fournette. So I'd rather play AJ Dillon if Jamal Williams happens to still be there. Yes, I'd play him. Giovanni Bernard if he happens to still be there. Yes. But I'd rather play like AJ Dillon. I feel like AJ Dillon has a good chance of being there. JD McKissick, if not. But other than that, I really don't. I want to see what Leonard Fournette's role is before because Ronald Jones has looked really good. Now, that doesn't mean that Bruce Arians is going to be a little fuck boy, right? And he could, end up splitting these carries between the two of them, even though these past few weeks Ronald Jones has deserved this starting role, but we'll see. Me personally, I'd rather see it before I just throw him in there if I'm desperate, because I think there's some other options with more potential.
Yeah, the top two are Rex Burkhead and Brian Hill. Um, and then Corey Clement, who obviously they already played. Zach Moss, Jeff Wilson, Cordero Patterson, Benny Snell, Samaji P. Ryan, Jeremy Nick
LaMichael P.
Nichols.
Ryan, if he's there, I play
It's
LaMichael P. Ryan.
it's Samaji P. Ryan, not LaMichael. Yeah, LaMichael. Well, you have LaMichael P. Ryan. And I tried to trade you for him. You never traded me running backs this week, asshole.
Yeah, because you're giving me a shit offers. I'm not going to trade you my running backs
Well,
for some shit.
let's be real. You want Justin Herbert. Let's make a
I
trade.
don't want Justin
You think
Herbert.
he's cute. I don't know what it is about you and Justin Herbert, but that's all you talk about week to week. Let's see
Week
who
to
you
week,
got.
the week to week.
Yeah, week to week. You're
My
always like
team's
every week.
a stud. My
Your
team's
team,
filled with studs.
God, you are. Oh boy, I don't know.
My team is really good. It's just I can't win a freaking game to save my life.
Listen, you don't want anybody other than Jared Goff. He's projected 12.8 points this week. I have Cam
Do I still
Newton,
have him
Matt
in there?
Stafford. Yeah, you do. You have him starting. I have Cam Newton, Matt Stafford, and Justin Herbert.
Yeah, well, I'm not giving up a
Yeah,
solid
well, you have
running back
Big
for a
Ben on your
quarterback.
bench. What the fuck?
Oh, I do?
Yeah, you better
I
go
must have
change
picked him
that.
up. That's why I picked him up.
Yeah, I would
Hey,
not
thanks.
start
And I have
Goff
Joe
against
Mixon in.
Chicago.
Ah, I better get him out. Good thing you said something because I didn't check my
All right, now
lineup
you
in
owe
that
me a
league.
trade. That's. Come on, you got to trade me now.
Who
That's
am I
fucking
playing
bullshit.
this week?
I think Steve. No, I don't know.
I think I already played Denny. I don't know who I play. Oh, I
You
play
play
Ryan.
Ryan. Ryan's probably pissed.
Little cute boy Ryan, who's probably not here. Who's not here because he's at a wedding.
Yeah, sure, sure. At a wedding. He's inviting you.
What? James White or Noah Fant, Kyle? Who would you rather play?
Woo. Um. Oh my God, I don't know how I feel about that question in general. I don't know. I just don't
I don't know.
like. We were just talking about Rex Burkhead. Who knows? He could just pop off today. You never know. So, who do the Broncos play? I forget.
Kansas City.
Oh. Um, it's a divisional game. I do think Drew Lock's a feisty boy. He reminds me of like Justin Herbert. They just don't give a shit. They just want to go out and play. And they're both dudes playing on with house money, so that's a good question there, gigging back. I don't know. I'll see what you say and I'll think about it.
Me personally, I'd go Fant. I do like Noah. This week, I think he's a solid play at the tight end position because I think this game is going to be closer than what people expect it to be. Well, I think Kansas City wins, but I do think that he will be involved. Drew Lock, really, it's only him and Tim Patrick. People are going to say Jerry Judy. Jerry Judy sucks. No, he doesn't suck, but I do like Fan over White.
I would only say White possibly because the 49ers rush defense. Other than that, I just think Fant could be a possible gamble just because it is Kansas City and you don't know. But I've never been Kansas City's defense is great guy, like a lot of people for some reason are. So I could see him also going off this week. It's a good question, Gigs. Thanks for asking. Very cute question. Also, we haven't plugged in a little while. If you're watching right now and you haven't liked or subscribed, we will find you and we will kill you. So also, if you haven't done that, Thrive Fantasy, link is below. Aspire Sports, use the code Aspire. Make sure you use that. Thrive is better than FanDuel. They're better than DraftKings. We'll say it right now. And honestly, if you want to make sure your money's secure, you're going to use Thrive. That's just all I got to say about it. Thanks, guys. I got another. Jamal Williams or Giovanni Bernard.
I'll go ahead and answer.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm going to go with Gio just because I think Gio has no competition for snaps in the backfield. So I think that he's going to see like 18 plus, possibly 18 plus touches in this game. With Jamal Williams, I'm not too sure he sees all the work. I think AJ Dillon is going to be decently involved in this, especially as a like between the tackle runner. So I think he's going to be involved, which is going to take away from Jamal Williams' upside. But Jamal Williams also plays on the better offense. But me personally, I'm going to go with Gio just because of the opportunity. What do you think, Kyle?
Um, I mean, I've been saying it now. This is the second year I've been saying it. If Aaron Jones just was never a reality in Green Bay, I think Jamal Williams would be their featured back. I do think he's very. I don't think he's as good as Aaron Jones, but he is a huge factor in that passing game. And I think that if they use him way more, and when they are using him, they are successful when they use both backs. And I do like that. But with Joe Mixon being out, oh wait, no, wait, Bernard's not in Cincinnati anymore, right? My bad. I don't know why I said that. Is he?
No, he's in
Yeah,
Cincy.
yeah. No, I don't know why I'm. Whatever.
Joe
I
Mixon,
I
yeah.
just haven't been following Giovanni Bernard. I don't hear as much about him anymore. I think he's been better, but yeah, with Mixon being out, he has so much upside. I mean, I just more than Williams, and who knows? I mean, Green Bay had a little tough matchup last week, but it is what it is. So I do like Giovanni Bernard just because Joe Mixon being out. I mean, that's just a given.
Hmm. Yes. Question here. We have Jacobs, McKinnon, Bernard, Jamal Williams. So I'm going to say Jacobs, McKinnon, and I'm going to go Bernard. I'm going to go Bernard. So for me though, I am a little worried here in terms of what McKinnon's role is going to look like. Now, against Philadelphia, he did play 92% of the snaps, but then when Moser came back, he was getting out snapped by Wilson. So I'm a little worried about his upside here because if Hasty plays more, I think I just don't know because Shanahan kind of used coach speech. I don't know if it was coach speech, but he said that he definitely stepped up to the opportunity. Would like to see him more out there. So does that mean he's going to play? And now you also have Jeff Wilson who's active for this game as well today. So I don't know about McKinnon. I'm going to say he plays a lot, but I'm a little worried about this. So we'll see what happens. Any breaking news on Twitter in terms of any injuries, Kyle? That's what you should check.
Yeah,
This,
Steve is out.
I do agree.
Just kidding.
This Aaron Jones hokey pokey, it's like so back and forth right now. I don't know if he's actually out for this game, is the issue. Aaron Jones, oh, he is out. Okay, 18 minutes ago is officially out by Ian. Thanks, Ian. Active today. We have Sam Darnold is going to play today. Tre'Davious White. Oh, Aaron Jones inactive. Kevin King, which is good. If you have Cook, I would definitely play Cooks or Brandon Cooks. I think Will Fuller's going to see the shadow coverage from Alexander, and Alexander's been like I think he's right there with Bradbury. Actually, I think Alexander's the number one rated cornerback on Pro Football Focus. So I think he's going to shadow Will Fuller, which leaves Brandon Cooks with no Kevin King, so a backup cornerback. So yes, I do like Brandon Cooks a lot this week. I think he's going to have a good week. And also, Jamison Crowder is officially out for this game. Dang it! See, this has been the thing with Jamison Crowder. He's good when he plays, but he is always dealing with a soft tissue injury, so he's never. I shouldn't say never, but he's missing a lot of time just because of that. So, are you playing anybody in the Jets? Anybody? Anybody? Probably not. If you want a deep dive in
Jordan
DFS,
Jordan
A-
A Jordan
Akins
Akers
is out.
or Akins is out. Yep,
Yeah,
he's out.
so Darren Fells is a. If you need a stream tight end this week, Darren Fells looking like another decent stream at tight end position again. With
Hopkins is still a question mark. Have you seen anything?
I thought, yeah, I think he's playing. I think they said that he's playing.
Okay.
Um, Last night, I think Shefty said something
So
about it.
Sam Darnold is active. Interesting.
Yeah. So battle at the quarterback position there. Him and Flacco, right?
Yeah.
OBJ or
The
Amari
Panthers
Cooper.
are missing a guard today too. Something to think about.
Who would you rather play? Amari Cooper or OBJ? Me, OBJ. I have William Jackson right now. Cincinnati is officially out in this game. They're starting cornerback and their best cornerback. So it could be a big day for OBJ, especially after he took off his shoes last week, was crying on the sidelines, yelling at the fans at Pittsburgh. Hey, what a crybaby. Hey, Blonde Tips, why don't you
Aaron
go shut
Jones
up
is
out
on the
there?
Packers inactive list.
Yeah, he's officially inactive.
So that means I changed my mind. Jamal Williams, let's fucking go,
Jamal
baby.
Jamal Williams season.
Jamal Williams is going to be the breakout player of the year. Just kidding. No, I'm just joking. But I do think he'll have a pretty good game today. He is a must start for me over Giovanni Bernard. There you go,
Um,
Gigs. Book it. Clip it.
well, we will clip it.
We should start doing game predictions too when there's more than two of us in here.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about game predictions.
All right, let's get
What
NFL Week 7
do
games. You're lagging out. Can't
you
hear you.
think? Pick a
Okay.
game. Let's go. Well, let's start with this game since I'm reporting live.
Okay.
Not many fans watching, and it's pretty dead out
Whoa.
here today,
The
as
fuck
you
is
can
going
see.
on? Are you there?
Does Darnold starting hurt? Yeah, why?
Hey, you're lagging horribly. Okay, now you're back. All right, you're good. You were lagging. Like no, I couldn't even understand you. All right, you're good.
Okay, I'm good. So
Yep.
reporting live at Nissan Stadium. Pittsburgh's really looking good today. Ben Roethlisberger is really excited for this game. He's going to go out there and he's going to show the world why he deserves to be in the MVP conversation today. Book it. He's going to go out there and win the game today. He's going to show
Hot
everyone,
off the
yeah, you
presses.
thinking Lamar? You thinking Lamar's better than me? No, he doesn't deserve to be over me. Book it. He's going to prove himself a top 3
Book it.
candidate for MVP. Let's go.
Book it.
Does Darnold starting help or hurt Brashad Perryman? You have interest in playing Brashad Perryman? Gangsta. Uh, I mean it. I
Hey, he
think
was
it
right
helps
about
because you have
Boston Scott.
Flacco. You have Flacco, the king of the check down himself. Joe Flacco is no longer starting. We have Sam Darnold. He sees ghosts. I see
Dead
wide
people.
receivers walking around wide open, and I can't throw them the ball. Darnold. What was that game? Was that against New England? He said that where
I
he
don't
says I
know.
saw ghosts or something.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was last year. I remember that. Yeah, I don't remember who it was
Gio or
against.
Allen Robinson in TD league? I'd go Allen Robinson, me personally. A Rob, he's a stud. I would never say A Rob. I know that Gio's sexy right now, but A Rob,
Mm.
yes. Give me all the A Rob. AJ Brown or Jeremy Lamb, Kyle.
Um,
Who's
AJ.
Jeremy Lamb? Do you know who Jeremy
I
Lamb
was gonna
is?
say I was just gonna play it off like this is a player. I'm assuming is it CD Lamb? Is that who he's talking about?
Yeah, but do you know who Jeremy Lamb is though?
Oh, he was from wasn't it? Did he play for Duke? Is that who it was?
I think he played Connecticut, UConn, I think.
Might have been. Dawson would know. Dawson, if you're here, tell us. Jeremy Lamb.
Well, I'm sure Giggs actually knows.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he played for Duke. I thought he played, but I could be wrong. I don't know. You
I
could
think he
be
played
right.
for
But anyways,
UConn.
yeah, CeeDee Lamb or who was the other?
Yeah, AJ Brown,
Oh yeah, AJ Brown. Who are the Cowboys playing? I didn't look. Oh yeah,
Washington.
Washington. Yeah. Oh man. Again, I just don't. No, I just don't see Tannehill being a big enough factor today, especially for it to be like, oh yeah, let me play AJ Brown. But also, I think Michael Gallup has been Andy Dalton's favorite target, but today you could just see a few touchdowns by multiple players because Washington's obviously not great, but their defense is better than somebody like Atlanta or something, where Cowboys still can't even get the ball moving against teams like that. So I don't really like either, but if I'm starting one, um, I'm probably going to start CeeDee Lamb just because I think he has way more upside this week against a poorer defense.
I'd go CD too because the Steelers are going to beat them Titans,
Hey, AJ
and they're
Brown
going to
can do
shut down
shit.
AJ.
AJ who?
Who? Who? AJ Brown? Brown? The Browns?
If he's got
Nah.
Brown in his name, he can't do anything against Steelers.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
know
Brownie
that.
fans. Oh, two Browns fans left. Full of questions today, guys. David Johnson or Kanye Drake? I'm picking
Kanye?
fucking yeah. Uh, I'm picking.
Did you wait? Hold on.
I'm
Wait.
Jake.
Did you watch the Kanye Joe Rogan?
Yeah, a bit
Did
of
you
it.
watch that podcast? Is it good?
Um, I don't know.
I haven't
Kanye's
watched
just
it
so
yet.
boring sometimes to listen to. I
It's,
just
so it is a little bit boring.
yeah, it's not the best thing I've
I
ever
think
watched.
he's kind of weird at times. Like
Yeah,
he's just like goes on
I'm
these like really weird
exactly.
tangents, and it's like, what the
That's
fuck
what
are
he
you
did a
talking
few
about?
times, and he would like he knows he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to find his way out, and it's like, why don't you just stop talking? Like you might as
Yeah,
well
I know.
just cut it yourself off. Be like, I don't know, and let Joe Rogan continue. I don't know. That's the type of. But to answer your question, Giggy Poo, um, that is a really good question. I do like David Johnson against the Packers defense a little bit this week, but I mean, we're talking about Seattle. And if we're talking about bad defenses like Atlanta, I bet you're going to find all those statistics. Who's right next to them? Probably Seattle and Dallas. So I
In
do
the
kind of like,
passing, not so much in the running
yeah, but
for Seattle.
yeah, but I do think I do think also Chase Edmonds might go off this week. So it's a tough one, but if I'm gonna have to pick one, I need to play one. I'm probably gonna play David Johnson. I just feel like he has way more upside in that offense against Green Bay.
Me personally, I'd probably go David Johnson as well. He's seeing at least work in a passing game too, and is seeing touches. Drake is like basically exclusively like running. Seattle, they've actually been pretty good against the run this year, except when they played Minnesota and got beat up a little bit by Minnesota. But I think they will have a hard time running the ball today.
Honestly,
So I'd go David Johnson.
if you have the option between David Johnson and Chase Edmonds, I'm probably picking Edmonds, honest to God. Because I just think more and more each week he's going to get phased into that offense and Kenyon Drake is going to get phased out. Maybe Kenyon's still going to get a decent amount of rushes, but I don't see him getting anywhere near the yardage to where it's like, okay, I can start him. And I just think, like you said, in that passing game, if that's the case, if it's going to be a shootout passing, Edmonds just has that potential to be a scorer in the passing game.
I think right now it has I think it's tied for the highest over under right now. 50, what are they? Oh no, it went down to 54. It was at 56. So they're at 54 right now at the Seattle game. Right now the Packers game is at 56. That one's the highest. So yeah, I would want all any players I can get in that game because it's going to be a high
Ha!
scoring affair, so I'd like that.
Our new favorite fan, Trump is king. I won $12,800 on a 5-team parlay last week, and this week I bet it all on the Bucks -4. Kind of nervous.
I don't think that's that bad of a bet.
No.
You know, I think the Bucks really look really good right now. And I mean, I just think that they're yes, the Raiders beat Kansas City, but Kansas City's defense is nowhere near the Bucks defense. So me personally, I think the Raiders have a tough time getting the ball moving, and I believe that the Bucks will be able to do whatever
Yeah.
they want
And I
offensively
also
against the
think,
Raiders.
I mean,
The Raiders.
if you take into consideration, obviously Green Bay, I mean that's a really good example. But also, I'm
Yeah.
a big guy on the mental game of things, and I think them picking up AB, obviously he's not playing, but that mental side of things. All right, this team, we're starting to move forward. We're in win now mode. We got to win these games because when we get AB back, nobody's gonna stop us. At least that's probably what they're thinking. I'm not saying that's necessarily true, but and like what they did against who's better, Oakland or Green Bay, and they demolished Green
Mm,
Bay.
Green Bay.
So
Man,
I think that's a good
they
bet
picked
to
off
make.
Rodgers, which is hard to do. They
Yeah,
picked on. Did
twice.
they? I think he had two
Yeah,
interceptions. Yeah,
twice.
one of them was a pick six. So,
Yep.
and that's not easy to do. He's like one of the least intercepted quarterbacks in like the history of the NFL, not just this, the past decade or so, like the history of the NFL. So
And that's also
that's
kind of
tough to
on
do.
him too, because he is kind of. And Colin Cowherd made the point, and Derek, if he's still in here, with Domsky, he had made the point to me. We were playing some games together the other day. Rogers is the type of guy he'll just check out if things aren't going their way. And it's the third quarter, early third quarter, and you're still down, and you go out there drive, and it's still same things, same issues in the first quarter and second quarter. He's just gonna check out. So I think that's kind of on him too, but still, the Bucks were just on fire. They were coming from every angle. Rogers
Yeah,
didn't know what to do.
they're coming from every angle. Are you serious?
Yeah, like Bukaki. Rogers got Bukaki that game. The
He
Bears
got
game
cocky.
The Bears game keeps is tormenting my mind.
It should be because the Bears suck. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Oh,
the
Richie
I
left because this guy's in
oh
here.
Richie left.
He's
uh,
like,
no, no. I think the Bears. I think the Bears will be fine. Honestly, I don't think the a lot of people are giving the Bears that much respect, and I think their defense is pretty solid. Nick Foles, yes, he hasn't looked great, but I think he's better than Trubisky, and it gives the offense a chance each and every week. So I think the Bears will be fine. People are worried about Jalen Ramsey against Allen Robinson. Jalen Ramsey hasn't shadowed this year. He's staying exclusively on one side of the defense. So I think Allen Robinson moves all over the formation, left, right, goes in the slot, so he'll have a decent game. And I think the Bears win this one. It'll be close though. I might it might be the Rams because they're home, but also home. What does home really do nowadays? I don't think it's really even that big of an advantage with not a big crowd. So, but I think the Bears will be fine.
yeah, I do. I mean, they have the second ranked pass defense in the league right now. They
Who are the
have,
Bears?
yeah. I mean,
I'm not
they're
sure.
and I think CBS had Cooper Cup as the bust wide receiver of the week. So if that's the case, I just don't see a scenario where you could just automatically pick the Rams. I think it's just going to be a really good game in general. It's actually
I
pretty
think it'll be a
exciting.
good game
Yeah.
too. Is that the Monday night game? I
No.
think.
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll be a good game. I think we have. I wish they would have. I don't know why they moved. I guess I do know why they moved the Seattle and Arizona game to the prime time because you have Kyler Murray, who's obviously a sexy name right now, and then you have Russell Wilson, who also is. So two good quarterbacks. Well, I don't even want to say Kyler Murray's a good quarterback. He's good in terms of fantasy, but in terms of a true quarterback, he's pretty inefficient, especially in the passing uh, in the passing game. So, but I wish they would have moved the Pittsburgh Tennessee game, not just because I'm a Steelers fan, but you have two 5-0 teams. I forget what it's one of the few times in NFL history that two 5-0 teams are going, well, undefeated teams are going against each other this late in the season. So you think, hey, a lot of people probably want to watch this game. Let's make this prime time. But hey, I don't
Because
work for the NFL.
if
So
Hopkins is out, right? That's
I
what
don't
we.
know. I think he's going to play.
All right. Well, then he's. I guess, injured, you could say. I don't know. Do you think it's going to be a shootout, or do you think it's going to kind of be one way? Seattle's just going to kind of torch them, and they're not going to keep up.
I think Seattle's going to beat them. I think I don't I don't think Arizona is really that good. If you looked at who they played, right? They've played the Jets. They played, the Dallas coming off of no Dak, right? And then they played, I forget who else it was, maybe Washington or somebody else. So they really haven't played that good of teams so far. And, obviously
Yeah.
Seattle's one of the best
49ers,
teams.
Washington, Detroit, Carolina, Jets, Cowboys.
Yeah, so I mean, Carolina's decent. I do like Carolina. And did Carolina beat them? Pretty sure.
Yeah. Carolina beat them
Yeah,
by 10.
yeah. So I honestly think this could be a blowout. I
Kyler
think that
Murray had 133 passing yards, but 3 touchdowns in that game.
I don't think Kyler Murray's that good. I just
Yeah.
don't.
But
I don't think he's an
who had one
effective
of those
passer.
touchdowns? My boy Chase Edmonds. So even if things go wrong, Chase Edmonds still scores.
Well, if things go wrong, he'll be more involved
Definitely, 100%.
than Kenny and Drake. So
Yeah. So I think I do like that. That's a good point. I just I think, but again, I don't know. I mean, sometimes Seattle just kind of gets behind. I mean, that's just sometimes how it goes. You think one defense is so bad, and then all of a sudden they put up a good fight for a couple quarters or a half, and then Russell Wilson comes back out of nowhere and fucking throws a dart in the last play of the
he's a
game.
beast.
Yeah, so it's really hard to. I don't. I actually do. I could see Arizona maybe being in the lead for a little bit of that game, but there's no way they'll beat the Seahawks this week. I just don't see it. But hey, I think this is a week where Russell Wilson also either if things are going right with Chris Carson's efficient, this could be a week where he doesn't hit over 250 yards. And I think that's coming sooner than later. And a lot of people think he's going to stay on this
Who?
trajectory. Russell Wilson, can he stay on this trajectory? No, it's impossible. Their second half of the schedule is much harder than their first half. So I think this could be a week where you finally start to see his production kind of dip. Not because he's bad or they're bad, just how long can you keep a 19 touchdown, 2,000 yard trajectory going? I mean, he would blow records away if he kept that going.
Well, it's like I'm pretty sure the same for um, I talked about him. Sell high or DK Metcalf because he's on this trajectory right now. Hasn't gone under 90 receiving yards, and he's only catching like 4 passes. So it's like he's averaging 22 yards per reception. It's just not. It's
It's
not
not sustainable.
sustainable.
No,
It's
not at
not.
all. No. And it's not to say Russ won't near over 40 touchdowns. I'm not saying that. I just don't. I was thinking about the other day, and I said this to myself, and you guys can clip it. I don't give a shit. You can say what you want, but I think Russ will finish
Clip it.
statistically around probably 35 to like 38 touchdowns, and I would say probably like 4,300 yards, something like maybe like 4,700 yards. I don't see him breaking 5,000. But their defense is so bad. Like I just don't see a case like their defense keeps them off the field. So if that was the other way around, where their defense was giving them the ball all the time, then fuck yeah. I mean, there's no question. Russ will do whatever he can with the
Well,
ball. But
I think it's. I would look at it the opposite
I
way. The
mean,
defense
yeah,
is so bad because they're giving up a lot of points.
I
Where I
agree.
think their defense would
That's
eventually
been the,
get better.
but that's been the case so far though. And that's my point is I just don't see that still being the
Yeah.
case for how many more
Well,
weeks,
and that's what I'm
especially
saying.
because I think this is something you have to consider too. Is the first 4 weeks of the season they set a record in points. Now that's starting to go the opposite way. Now defenses are starting to get better. Defenses because of COVID. I mean, not a lot of defenses were able to really mesh because if you think about it, I mean, these dudes are constantly moving. They're signing 1 year contracts, 2 year, 3 year contracts. So they're moving around so much. Like Terry Bradshaw said the other day on a show, he said the Super Bowl teams that he was on, they were all together for like 9 years. The same players. They weren't constantly
Yeah.
moving around. So those are things you have to consider with like the Seahawks. So if they get any injuries
Yeah.
on that defense, I just don't see it.
Well. Hold on. Listen to this. So Seattle right now, Seattle has had their bye week. Okay, they had their bye week last week. Um, I'm pretty sure, didn't they? Yeah, I don't think they played. Yeah, because Chris Carson, I have him on my team, and he didn't play. So they had their bye week. Right now, Seattle is giving up the second most passing yards, and they're less than 100 yards from Atlanta. So that's how bad their defense has been this year. They've already had their bye week, and they have already allowed the second most passing yards at over 1,800 passing yards on the season already. At 1,852 passing yards allowed on the season. So that's why Russell Wilson is also his stats are crazy because he has to throw the ball so much. Like if you have a passing defense that's giving up that many passing yards on the season, yes, you're going to have to throw the ball to play catch up, and that's what he's kind of been doing in some of these games. He's
Right.
also been, and I'll say this, put it on record here. Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the league. I 100% believe that. Yes, you can say Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has had his whole career so far. It's been a short career, but he's had Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey. Now Russell Wilson finally has a player in DK Metcalf who's just an absolute freak, and then has a slot guy and Tyler Lockett, and he's still so efficient every single year. And all the main like the best passing records, like categories, yards per attempt, efficiency rating, and everything like that. Russell Wilson's right at the top in NFL history for all of those. Right there with Rodgers. He's right there with Rodgers,
Mhm.
but never gets the respect. And I just think he's finally getting the respect because he has a really now they're not just running the ball down everybody's throat, trying to run the ball 40 times a game. They're letting him throw, and now
Yeah, they're throwing
this
the
is what
ball.
happens.
Yeah, they're throwing the ball on the 1 yard line. I mean, that's just the way to win. All right, crickets.
I
All right. Anyways,
I I
well, yeah, no,
wanted
I
to
don't know.
put it.
I mean, I agree. My point is that when your offense has to do that much, and it's look at the Steelers in the past when they were just full offensive teams. When you come to the later half of the season and towards the postseason, people get injured, and you can't sustain that. Well, like if DK Metcalf gets hurt, that
Or
takes
COVID,
away. Yeah, or COVID. I mean, those are the
or
things
anybody
that
could get
are
COVID.
going to happen. And even if he doesn't tear an ACL or whatever, like if it's just week to week injuries, that is a huge blow. And then Chris Carson's already been gone. He's been effective, but you need to you need to lean on that run game eventually. That run game is
I
really
saw
important.
I saw a GIF, and it was like somebody said Chris Carson, and I you got to pull it up. You ever see like that Family Guy? Um, it's like Peter, and he has like a bucket, like his body's all. You got to look it up. Look up Family Guy GIF Peter, and just look that up. Say like robot. He kind of looks
All
like
right, well, let's talk about this. I wanted to go on Titans +3, but I didn't do it. I just put all on the Bucks. Now I kind of regret I didn't put anything on the Titans. And then we have another question after that. Just comment on why you think maybe he made a better choice on the Bucks over the Titans or vice versa.
okay. I'm gonna go real quick with this one just because it'll be quick. We have Cooper Cup for Josh Allen. Um, I would go. I'd go Cup. I mean, I might go Joshua Kelly because I do think that the Chargers do win this game. I think that they'll be ahead, and Jacksonville right now is a terrible, terrible rush defense. So Joshua Kelly should be involved. I am worried that Justin Jackson, he looks like the better back, more efficient back. So that does give me a little bit concerned, but uh, I think Joshua Kelly has a good game. So he said the Bucks +3. Oh shoot, am I cutting out again?
No, you're
Looks
good.
like I'm cutting out on the stream.
No, you're fine. You did for a second. You're fine.
I'm fine now.
Yeah,
Look at me pause. I look like an idiot.
yeah, I know. Um, are you done answering that question?
Well, I just want to make sure I'm good. It looks like I'm
You're
still
fine. No, you're fine. I'm watching it.
okay. Well, then I'll say yes. The Titans +3, but the right now the line's -1. Are you saying like alternative spread is what the um I put it all on the Bucks. I just think the Bucks will win the game. The
Um,
Seahawks are very bad for spread bets. They either lose or win by 1 or 2 points.
Full PPR, bench Cooper Cup or Joshua Kelly, or bench Cup for Keelan Cole. I already have Chark in my lineup.
Was that the one that I did answer that? Maybe I was
Oh, you.
cutting out, but I said I'd.
Oh, okay. That's what you
Yeah.
were. I thought you were answering a Twitter question. Okay,
No,
gotcha.
no, no. I was
Okay,
answering the one in
sweet.
the chat. I don't know if it cut out, so I'll just say again, Joshua Kelly.
Yeah, I just think Cooper Cup is. I don't have.
I think he's fine, but they play Chicago, and
That's my point.
Chicago's. I believe in
Yeah,
Chicago's defense. I
it's
know
not that
some people
I
don't
don't think
believe in
Cooper Cup
Chicago,
is
but I.
good. It's not that I don't. Yeah, but yeah, no, they. That's what I said. They have Chicago right now is the second ranked passing defense, and so I mean, and I just don't think Jared Goff's like a throw him open, go out there and sling it to win it kind of QB. So
What do you mean? He got paid millions of dollars.
yeah, of course. So did Carson Wentz. They're both worth it.
Hey,
um,
well, Carson Wentz definitely has looked
I think it's
a
yeah, I
little
think so
better.
too. I think Carson Wentz is what I said to Ryan. I think he's a great. If you have Doug Peterson designing plays for you, there's no reason why you can't be successful, other than maybe injuries or not having skill players. I get that, but like he can complete very good passes, but when he goes out there and he rolls out and he has to improvise, that's not his. That's not Carson Wentz. That's not who he is. Maybe in a
He's
couple
looked good though
years.
for what he's had. Like
Yeah,
he's had a
I agree.
terrible right now. Like nobody.
I am
So I
not a
do think
Carson Wentz hater. I'm a Mitch
a
Trubisky
little bit,
hater. No, I'm a Mitch
a
Trubisky
little
hater.
bit.
I'm not a Carson Wentz hater. I just don't think that he should go out there and do the shit he was doing last week. It's just not like obviously they won, but can you really say they won because of him? Yeah, he had that great last drive, but if Evan Ingram didn't drop that fucking pass that Addy could have caught, they would have won that game. It literally hit him right
He
in the
Evan
fingers.
Ingram. I did say he didn't have that bad of a game, but now go and look and really think about it. That was
That
terrible.
cost them the
Yeah,
game. That cost them.
yeah.
They would have won that game. So I
For
think
somebody who hasn't been playing that well this year, he
exactly.
needed that.
Versus that his half of the season he had last year, where people are starting to go, holy shit, this kid's legit, blah blah blah. But I don't know. That's the only reason why Carson Wentz didn't. He could have played a lot better last week, and two of those, which should have been two interceptions, that one that Fulgham caught, the one that he threw across the field like a 10-year-old, like things like that. Like they just, I'll criticize him all day for that because that is just stupid. You don't even do that shit in backyard football. It's just dumb. So he's lucky that didn't get picked because then they would have definitely lost that game because that could have been a pick six. So I don't know, just things like that. But I don't hate Carson Wentz. I don't.
You hate him.
I think if he would have played in that Super Bowl against Tom Brady, I think he honestly would have done just as good as Nick Foles did because I think that's how good of a coach Doug Peterson is.
hmm Well, go ahead. Quick plug here.
Oh yeah, if you haven't
We're,
already, please go and donate to my PayPal. I need money. No, I'm just kidding. Please like and subscribe. King Trump, Trump is king. You please subscribe, like, especially if you win that bet with the Bucks, and you don't send us at least $1,000, I'm gonna vote for Joe Biden. I mean, that's that simple.
in millions, in
I
millions,
want
in
at least
billions.
$1 million. Okay, at least 1 million. Thrive Fantasy. If you haven't signed up, link below. Code Aspire, please. Thrive. They're better than
They will
FanDuel and
match your
DraftKings.
deposit bet.
That too.
They will match
Fifty
your deposit
dollars.
bet up to $50.
Up to 50.
So if you use code Aspire.
Yeah, if you don't use code Aspire, then fuck you.
Let's go into this one. Need three of these. So who are you sitting? Chris Carson, Kenyon Drake, Jamal Williams, Bernard. I'm gonna sit Kenyon Drake. Drake would be who I'm sitting. We've kind of talked about this. I do love Chris Carson today. I like Chris Carson a lot. I think he's a solid play if you play DFS. I think he's a really good play season long. I think he's a very good play. You're definitely starting him. But in DFS, I think he's a good play here, and also another player that I'm going to talk about. Um, I'm gonna go with who was I gonna say? Now I forget. Mike
Steve.
Davis. Mike Davis right now, 7,700 right now on FanDuel. Mike Davis, the past 4 weeks now, he's been RB number two in your point five PPR leagues. So RB number two the past 4 weeks, yet is the fourth highest paid, well, highest paid money salary wise on DFS. And he's also not even like the highest guys are in the 9K range, 8K range. He's in the 7K range. So, yes, love Mike Davis this week in DFS. Love him. Let's go
Very
ahead into
cute.
the next question here. And we got a question for Kyle. Uh, AJ Dillon or Traquan Smith? You know who Traquan Smith is, right?
Who and who? I mean, you already talked about Dylan. I do think that that's a pretty good play this week. That just keep it simple there because not really worth mentioning.
And the famous words of Michael Scott, right?
How the turntables.
Kiss.
Keep it short and
No,
simple.
kiss.
It's actually
No, keep it simple, stupid.
oh yeah.
Remember Dwight? Yeah, keep it simple, stupid.
I've only watched it 3 times and don't remember. I'm fucking I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
know,
I'm
for
so
real.
bad
I
at
can't
it.
believe you don't remember that.
I don't know. I'm just so bad at remembering scenes from shows. Movies, I'm pretty good at if I've seen them 400 times. Like Step Brothers. All right, that reminds me. So tune in Wednesday. We're gonna completely reenact Step Brothers live here. So Tyler will be Dale, and I'll be Brennan.
Why do I gotta be Dale? You be Dale.
Because
All
you
right,
always
anyways, let's go into this next
you
question
wear
here. So,
wristbands.
next one, we have Brandon Cooks, Cooper Cup. You got to pick two. Brandon Cooks, Cooper Cup, Cole. I mean, I wouldn't even consider Cole, or I'm assuming DJ Moore. So I'm gonna go DJ Moore and Brandon Cooks for that one. Let's go ahead and
Rename
respond here.
rename
Um,
him again. Are you there?
we
Oh,
have
okay.
Brandon Cooks, DJ Moore.
Yeah. And
Can you
Cooper
hear me?
Cup, you said? Yeah. Go ahead. Brandon Cooks, DJ Moore.
And Keelan Cole, which I wouldn't even consider
Yeah.
Keelan Cole in that.
Yeah.
Like
I
with
do
those
think
other guys. Start the
Brandon.
other guys for sure. Don't
Yeah,
even
Brandon
consider
Cooks is.
Cole.
I like his trajectory moving forward. He's starting to get a very large target share,
Agreed.
and he might turn out to be the number
Oh,
two.
I have a I have a stat here. So let me say this. Where is the stat? Because I wrote about this. Brandon Cooks. This is the past 2 weeks. Past 2 weeks, he has 21 targets, 17 catches, 229 yards receiving, and two tutties.
Bam.
So, and that's after Bill O'Brien. So this week, like I said, I project. I believe that Alexander's going to shadow Will Fuller. So once again, Alexander's the number one rated cornerback on Pro Football Focus, has been pretty good in coverage this year when shadowing, and he shadowed, I believe, 3 weeks so far. So I think in this one he'll probably shadow Will Fuller. So I like Brandon Cooks. Now, if he shadows Brandon Cooks, which I don't think he does, because I'd imagine people like look at this receiving core and think Will Fuller's the number one. Now, if he shadows Brandon Cooks, then I like Fuller, but I think he's going to shadow Will Fuller. He's the bigger receiver, 6 foot, where Brandon Cooks is, I believe he's 5'10", 5'9". So I think he'll shadow Fuller. So yeah, I like him. I
Yeah.
like Brandon Cooks this week. I like him in DFS as well. I believe. Let me just double check what he is on. I think he's pretty cheap. Yeah, 5,900 on FanDuel, which 5,900 you could definitely get to, and is a pretty solid start in terms of FanDuel this week against Green Bay, and we've kind of already talked about this game. This game did open at 56 and a half. Right now it's at 56. So I think that's a pretty good high scoring game here.
Hey, King Trump is king said in the chat. If
What?
I win this week, and next week, I can definitely send you a few hundred. Kind of made me feel easy about today's bet. I mean, yeah, you don't have to necessarily do that. We do appreciate, at least liking and subscribing and sharing. That's all we ask for. But if you want to, more than welcome. We are probably going to put our PayPal up, and we eventually will get merch once we start to grow a little bit. So those other things to keep in mind. But I would feel pretty good about the Bucks today. I would
I
personally.
I do too. I mean, and listen, here's the thing about betting, right? Nothing certain. So it could look like a really slam dunk bet and it doesn't work out. But I think the way that these two teams are going, yes, the Raiders did beat Kansas City, but Kansas City's defense is nowhere near Tampa Bay's. It's not. Tampa Bay's last week looked like possibly the best defense in the NFL, and I just think Derek Carr, with not that many options here, I think it's a pretty good bet.
Remy
We got
Reyes.
Terry.
Yeah, you want me
Okay,
to?
I'll
Yeah,
go ahead real quick. I'll
Scary
just say
Terry.
mine. So me personally, I'm going to go with Lockett and Galladay for these. Once again, like I said, I think Will Fuller draws shadow coverage from Alexander. Alexander best rated cornerback by Pro Football Focus, and then Scary Terry as Kyle Allen. Yes, it is Dallas, but I'm a little still weary of Kyle Allen, so I like Lockett, Galladay, better situations, better game, I believe, game flows than the other one. So those two.
I like uh I like Gallup and Lockett.
Gallup,
Yeah,
huh?
I'll go with Gallup. I mean, I just didn't want to say because Galladay would probably be my next one. I just think with Fuller doing so well, I don't know how I feel about, or with Cooks doing so well, I don't know how I feel about Fuller. But Gallup, like I was saying earlier, I just think Andy Dalton likes him more than he likes CeeDee Lamb, and I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's just that vertical threat because that's something that Andy Dalton's always been pretty decent at is the deep ball. So I just think I like Gallup more. He could just be that guy this week that just kind of goes off, not necessarily a huge game, but like 8 receptions, 80 to 90 yards, and a touchdown or two. I do kind of like him this week, especially in a divisional game, must-win game for Dallas. They have no choice. I think they'll just go out there and Andy Dalton will just fucking sling the ball. I mean, that's all they're gonna do all day because Zeke cannot carry the ball or hold on to the ball. And I don't think they have much confidence if he's just like, you just fumble the ball sometimes. That's what he said. Sometimes you just fumble it. No, sometimes you need to carry on to the ball. Like two hands if you fuck. You see Benny Snell the week after he had his second fumble? He was running like this. Two hands on the ball like a high schooler. I mean, it's you got to do what you got to do to protect the ball. It's very important. You would think Andy Dalton would be the
I
one
keep
turning it
seeing this
over.
one. I keep seeing this one a lot. Jimmy Graham or Jonnu Smith.
Isn't
Who would you
Janu
go?
coming off an injury? He was
Yeah, but
questionable
kind of
all
what we
week,
talked about.
but yeah, Jimmy Graham is an
No,
injury.
I think he practiced fully though this
Okay.
week, so I think he's fine.
But yeah, like
Me
you said,
personally,
true.
like
Yeah.
we talked about, Jonnu. I think Steelers secondary is beatable in the middle here with Spillane playing, and you got can't cover anybody, Vince Williams. So I think the middle of the defense is vulnerable, and I think Tennessee probably knows that and attacks it here because the Steelers play a lot of zone
Is
defense.
Corey
So
Davis
I think
active?
Jonnu should. I don't know actually. I'm not sure.
That's
Go ahead,
actually
look that up,
somebody. Yeah.
Jamie. um, no, but I think Jimmy Graham, has had some decent weeks ever since Nick Foles took over as well, but Jonnu should be a good play this week. Need running back help. Let's see who we got. Gamble on who is
Yep.
this?
He's
Questionable Justin
playing.
Jackson. Why does everybody keep saying
Yep.
who? Corey Davis?
Corey Davis is dressed and he's on the field.
See, I've seen this a lot now. I don't know why people keep saying gamble on questionable Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson practiced fully on Friday. The only reason why they activated somebody off of the practice squad, in my opinion, is because why would you practice or why would you play two running backs in a game? To me, you need like a third running back in there to play like special teams or something. That's where this third running back comes from. That's a special teams player there. So I'm not that worried about it. Like I don't get why everybody's all like, do I gamble on questionable Justin Jackson? He's fine. He practiced fully on Friday. That's the biggest day. That's where you need to know whether or not the players are going to play. Practice fully, no questions in my mind. He's good to go. I mean, I guess I didn't see the other part. He has Geo, but still, I would go. That's tough. Maybe Geo,
It's all good.
because he's
I'm
going to
only
see a
down
big workload.
600 of my money this season. I'm just playing with house money. If I win all, bet all on one game next week, and if I win all, then I'll hook you guys up. Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you tuning in and watching, and we also look forward to the next 2 weeks and the results of something very special. So we'll
Good luck
definitely,
in your bets for sure.
yeah, but we definitely appreciate you tuning in. Definitely don't ask for anything from anybody besides just like and subscribing and sharing. So if you choose to do that again, we do
Indeed.
appreciate that. Oh, but
Indeed.
also, if you're gonna
And
do anything with your money, sign up. Thrive Fantasy. Link below. Use code Aspire, and
and we post videos
yeah,
on hopefully some player prop bets that we like and could help you win. So, but yes, good plug. Shoot, we a couple people did leave here. But if you're listening and you haven't already subscribed, liked, or shared this video, please do share with your friends, share with your family. We want to hit that 100 subscriber mark just because, obviously we want to keep creating great content, but we also want to change our little name here. That way people know this is the Aspire Sports Show. This is Aspire Sports, baby. We're climbing to the top, and you guys can climb with us. So make sure you like, subscribe, share the video. Thank you very much. And let's go ahead and keep getting into it. We got a lot of stuff to unpack here. We got 15 more minutes left. 15 more minutes. So if you have any last minute questions, have any last minute comments, anything, go ahead, ask away. Just tell us how your day's going. I don't care what it is. Go ahead. So let's get into the next question here. We got Mike Evans, David Johnson. Me personally, I would go David Johnson. I'm a little worried about Mike Evans, not in terms of the player or this offense or anything. It's just how Tom Brady has been working this offense when Godwin's there. When Godwin's there, the offense kind of flows through Ronald Jones and also Chris Godwin. Mike Evans kind of like that odd man out. So I'd imagine it's going to be the kind of the trend going forward. I like David Johnson.
we're live tonight again. Trump is King. We're live again tonight before the primetime game. We're gonna do a recap of all the earlier games, the games that we're talking about right now, and then we will be live again tomorrow before the Monday game, and then we post a show every day of the week. So if you want to comment on those or whatever, reach out on Twitter. The best way to probably give us those bets, if you want to, would actually be if you have Twitter up on the top left, Aspire Sports _ Tyler's mostly active on that, so he'll definitely keep those in consideration, and he'll also talk to you, answer any questions you got. And that goes for anybody else who's watching. If you haven't followed us on Twitter, do that. Keep up with us on Twitter, and also Facebook. We do have a Facebook page.
Indeed. All right, let's go into the next question here. So we have, okay, for wide receiver, I have Evans, McLaurin, AJ Brown, and Beasley. I'm thinking McLaurin and Beasley. But who for the flex? I don't like, I would go McLaurin and AJ Brown and then go McKinnon for the flex, me personally. That's what I would do. I mean, Beasley, yes, John Brown is out, but Gabe Davis has looked pretty good in John Brown's spot. So I don't think it's like Beasley's going to take all these targets here and be like the play. I think Gabe Davis is actually a better play than even Beasley this week. So me personally, I would go AJ Brown, McLaurin, and go McKinnon in the flex. Right, Kyle? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, fair. I just don't. I miss some of the players that you mentioned, and then I just don't want to butt in and then say something stupid. That's the only thing. That's why sometimes I don't respond right away. Where are you reading that? Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. let's do a couple projections just because we're kind of close. So I think let's just do important games. Let's just do games that are going to be difficult to project. We'll just do 3 of them, and we'll revisit those later today.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Trump is King. Have a great day, and good luck in your bets and fantasy this
Thanks,
day.
guys. Or yeah, thank you, Trump is King. We do appreciate it, and yeah, tune in tonight, tune in tomorrow, and keep up with our show. We appreciate it. So let's do. I think Chiefs Broncos will be an interesting one to talk about. Are we? I mean, we've already talked about it, but to predict. And then let's do Browns Bengals because I feel like that one's actually kind of unpredictable. I guess you could easily say Bengals, but you could make a case possibly for the Browns. And then Jags Chargers. I think that one's actually another pretty good one. So let's start off with Chiefs Broncos. What is a score prediction, or at least something you could totally see, maybe betting wise?
Score for which one? Which one are we starting with?
Broncos Chiefs.
Broncos Chiefs. All right. So right now, it's the over under for this game is 44. Okay.
Hmm.
Spread is 7. So me personally, I do think that the Chiefs win. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. Seven's tough. I think that's a pretty good line. Like sometimes Vegas just puts out really good lines. I think it's going to be right around 7. So I'm going to
You're
say,
cutting out.
um, well, I don't know what the difference
Oh,
would
you're
be
good. You're good.
7. So let's go. I'm cutting out.
No, you're good. You're good now.
I'm good right now.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I'll go with Chiefs. I'll go with Chiefs 27, Denver 20 here. So I do think that it's gonna be about 7. So I think it's right on. But I think the over under will. I think it will go over 44 and a half.
I think it's going to be 38 to 24. I
Let's
think
go. We have a question real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Cooper
Let's answer.
Cup, Jamal Williams. I'm gonna go Jamal Williams at flex this week. Me
Mhm.
personally, I like Jamal Williams. I think he's going to see a decent workload, especially in PPR league. I think he'll be involved in the passing game, especially. I'm worried about his rushing, how many rushes he'll get, because I do think AJ Dillon will be involved. But in terms of PPR, I think he'll be involved in the passing game. So I'd go Jamal
Yeah,
Williams.
I
Good
agree
luck
too.
this week too.
And you also have to keep. We were just talking about this earlier. Obviously, Yankees fan. You may have not. You may have just tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, please like and subscribe. But Cooper Cup is going against the second-ranked passing defense this week. So Jamal Williams, he sees the ball in all phases of the offense. So I just and with Aaron Jones being out, I think it's a no-brainer in my opinion. I would definitely play Jamal Williams. I like him a lot this week. But
Agreed.
we were talking about Kansas City, Denver. The only reason why I think it would be that kind of I think it would be within a touchdown game. Denver would be probably trailing by a touchdown for the latter part of the game, but then I think it's just going to completely get away from them. Kind of like what happened with I forget what game were we talking about last week. I had mentioned that. That's kind of what happened. I just think with these teams, yeah, they're going to come out kind of hot. Maybe they'll put points on the board before Kansas City and they'll keep it close. But Kansas City's splash play potential is way too big. And Le'Veon's playing this week too. So you could just see something kind of interesting from them that you haven't seen in a while. Um, but let's get
All
into the
right.
next
Question
game.
here.
Oh, no, we have
Hold on. We
another
have a
question.
question. I'm
Perfect.
currently a couple questions. So we'll go with the first one here. I'm currently starting Jamal Williams as a flex. Keep him or switch him out for Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, or Malcolm Brown. I have Josh Jacobs and Ronald Jones starting, and Hopkins and Metcalf. That's pretty. I I think it's a toss up between Jamal Williams and Brandon Cooks. I think both of them are really good plays. I kind of talked about this earlier. I think Will Fuller is going to draw shadow coverage from Alexander, so Brandon Cooks is going to be kind of the upgrade here offensively for Houston. So I think Brandon Cook's a really good play, but then I think Jamal Williams is going to have a pretty decent floor and a decent ceiling because he might get some of those red zone carries. I think AJ Dillon is going to be between the tackles guy, and Jamal Williams still going to see some carries, but he's going to be like that passing down back. So me personally, I'd go Jamal Williams, but if you want to go Brandon Cooks, I would go him too. I would go with your gut and pick which one. And then real quick, Fells over Fullen. I feel
Tunyon.
it's too many options. Oh, Tunyons. Oh yeah, Tunyon, Robert Tunyon. Um, I would go Fells just because. Here's my
Akins
opinion.
is out.
Fells right now, no Akins is out, so no competitions. He's actually had two pretty good weeks now that Akins has been out. I think right now this is the highest scoring game, so you have these two guys going against each other. Yes, I think Tunyon is a decent choice as well, but it's just my opinion. If you want to go Tunyon, hey, I'm not gonna fight you. I think that either one of them is a good choice. Once again, go with your gut, and I think that you'll be happy with your choice.
I agree. I do like that. Also, Yankees fan, Extras, David Ramos. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. We would really appreciate it. Thank you for chatting and asking questions. We really do like that. Keeps us busy, and we just want to help you make money. We want to help you win in your fantasy league this week. So ask away. No question is a stupid question. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get into the next game we want to talk about,
You're welcome.
which was Browns versus the Bengals. I'll let you start off with
The
this one.
Browns.
kind of interesting. What do you think? Who do you think is going to be the a winner of that game? And then I'll go look at the money line for that one and the over under.
So who do I think is going to win?
Yeah,
I think it's going to be I think it will be
50 and a
Cleveland, but I think
half.
this game's going to be pretty close here. Thank you, David Ramos. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I think this game's going to be close. I think Cincinnati has a chance to win this game, and I'm going to go and say Cincinnati wins this game. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland wins, but I think Cincinnati is kind of starting to kind of put this together a little bit. They played really well against Indianapolis, just gave up the lead at the end of the game. So I think they're kind of Joe Burrow is starting to get comfortable with his receivers now, and it looks pretty evident, averaging the most passing attempts per in the NFL this season. So me personally, I like Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's going to upset the Browns and beat the Browns this week.
Yeah, I ended
Yeah,
up
and
with trading Ertz and Claypool for Cooks and Fant. I have
pretty
Andrews. He's
solid.
on his bye week, so I had to do something 50-50 on it at the moment, but we'll see how I do. 3-3 subbed and liked. Thank you. We do appreciate you for subscribing and liking. For you guys who've just tuned in, we will be live tonight. We'll recap all these games and then we'll do a preview for the primetime game, and we'll also be live tomorrow for the Monday night game too. We'll do a recap of
So if
primetime
we gave
game
you
and preview.
if we gave you some terrible advice and you want to come and yell at us, hey, feel free. We'll be
But if
here.
we gave you
You know,
good
we're not
advice,
going to
you
shy
better
away
be
from it.
back.
Yeah. But I do think that's a pretty good trade. Ertz and
I
Claypool.
do too.
I'm a Steelers fan, okay? I'm a Steelers fan. I love Claypool, but I think that
I'm
Cooks and
not.
Fan is a pretty good trade here. So good job on the trade.
Yeah, I do think that's a good one.
But Cincinnati Browns, I think Cincinnati wins this game. They are the underdog, 3.5 points, which is decent, but I think Cincinnati, like I said, putting it together, and I think they come back. Baker's kind of banged up, a little bit, so I think Cincinnati wins, but
Well, the
we'll
question
see. What do
is,
you think?
does Case Keenum see the field? Because I do think Case Keenum, if Baker's that injured to where it's really affecting his game, which a lot of people are making that excuse, if that really is the case, then I don't see why you don't start Case Keenum, because let's be real. Can anybody sit here for sure and say that Case Keenum is better than Baker Mayfield? Probably not. And can anybody sit here and say that Baker Mayfield is better than Case Keenum? I don't think so. So I don't really see any downside of just giving him a shot. If you're going out there and you're down by 2 touchdowns early in the game and Baker's just not feeling it, you may see Case Keenum go in there. Because I think the
Well,
Browns we got to win, and if Baker's not our best option to win and our defense can keep us
I
in most of
think
these games, why not?
I think he is. I mean, I understand. I would say that I think you should probably get Baker because he took some big hits against Pittsburgh and he was already hurt. Like he was already hurt coming into that game. Took some big shots against Pittsburgh, especially that one where Cam Hayward just demolished him and his head bounced off the dirt there. So I think I do think it would be smart to get him healthy, especially in the season right now. But you got to win, especially a divisional game. And they're 4-2, right? I'm pretty sure. So they're 2 games behind
Yeah.
Baltimore and Pittsburgh right now because they've both beaten them. So you got to win. But I think
If
Baker
they
gives you
lose
that best
this
chance. But I
game,
do think
go ahead.
I do think Case Keenum, he's played with Stefanski before. His best season has been in Minnesota with Stefanski as the quarterback coach. So I I'm not going to sit here and try to say Baker's Case Keenum's better. I don't think so.
I just think one of
But I
the
think if you need to get him healthy, I mean that
the
would
difference
make
between the
sense. But I
two
think
is
Cincinnati can just win this game.
I just think the difference between the two is okay. So for like the Browns have a very good defense. Obviously, they're a little bit riddled with injuries. Their secondary could be a lot better if they didn't have most of the injuries they had.
Yeah.
But their defense is still really good. And Case Keenum played with a similar defense in Minnesota, and he knows I just need to not fuck up and we'll win. And Baker is doing that a lot. But also Baker, I just feel like he's one of those, he's just not ready. Like he can't read a defense like Case Keenum can. Like post snap, pre snap, can he do the things that Case Keenum can do? And I think for right now, if Baker can't do that and keep your team in the game, I don't know. That's just the way I obviously you can make a debate about it all day. Baker, I think, is coming off his rookie season. I was actually like, holy shit, this guy could be really good, but he has yet to really prove it. Um, I don't know. It's a big question mark for me. My question is, I picked him up in fantasy because I'm so fucking desperate right now. Dearness Johnson, could he be a guy who's like, I don't know. I think he's when he gets the ball, he actually makes plays. And this week, could he be a guy who just gets in the end zone? Just somehow finds a way to get in the end zone. I don't. I think I kind of like him this week. I don't know. How about you, Tyler? Let's see what his anytime touchdown score is. His odds for this week. Where is he?
Um, I I'm not gonna
Plus
play him.
390. So I think I Vegas kind of thinks he may be a scorer this week. Um, but I guess that's over David Njoku, who probably won't see a touch the end zone this week. I don't know. I could be far fetched. Maybe I'm just trying to make a
I'd rather bet
case.
on Njoku
Yeah, yeah,
because
probably.
no
But
Hooper.
yeah, with Kareem Hunt, obviously, I'm not super confident in De'Aaron Johnson. I'm just trying to make a case because I'm playing him in fantasy, so I just don't want to seem retarded. But anyways, let's go look. What was the other game we wanted? Oh, Jaguars versus the Chargers. That's actually a pretty interesting one. So let's go in there. The over under for that one is 49 points. Do you like that? And the Chargers are favored by 7.5 points.
Um, do I like the over under?
Yeah. Do
Is that
you
what
do you
you're
think
saying?
that's pretty fair? I mean, is that around what you'd project in points?
I think it's gonna go over. The reason being is because I think the Chargers are a pretty good scoring offense with Herbert back there. And then obviously you have options on the outside. You have a pretty good run defense or a pretty good running game going right now. And then I think on the other side, and I've talked about this in my article, when Chark plays, this is just a much better team. He practiced in full this week. So I think he's ready to go. He's not, I'm not going to say 100%, but near 100% practicing fully, where the past couple of weeks he hasn't practiced. So, me personally, this offense is much better when Chark is playing. So, I think that this is going to be a better showing from Jacksonville offensively. So, I think this game's going to go over that. And if
Um,
you're listening, and you're not like if you haven't like subscribe, please do. We'd really appreciate it. Share with your friends. Thank you.
Also, link it below. Thrive Fantasy. Sign up.
Thrive Fantasy.
They'll
You
match
get
any deposit up to $50. Use code Aspire, but you have to
yes.
use code Aspire to get
And
that $50.
real quick, I'm going to talk about my favorite DFS plays in this. Justin Herbert. I do love him in FanDuel. I think he's at 7,500. I could be wrong. I would have to double check. Keenan Allen though, 7,000 on FanDuel right now. Absolute steal. I think he's going to probably be pretty high owned. Ownership's going to be high up there. So, but then I also like Justin Jackson right now. He's 6,100. I love him in FanDuel this week. Me personally, I think he's the guy in this backfield. I think Joshua Kelly's going to be involved, but I think Justin Jackson is a better running back, and I think he's going to showcase that this week.
Very, very
I'm trying to
interesting.
find a backup QB for next week. I picked up Dalton, but not sure about him. Murray has bye. I could get Baker, Jones, Bridgewater. I'd have to really look at the games. I'm not sure who they play. So I'll go ahead and look those up and I'll let you know
For
here in a
next
minute. Let me
week,
go to
yeah.
the next question. I'll come back to that one. And then I have last one. I have Claypool, David Johnson on my bench starting Henry, Gurley, Jamal. Any concerns? No, I mean, I don't want to be a homer, but I think the Steelers can really shut down Derrick Henry. I do think that, but I wouldn't start David Johnson over him. I would definitely start Henry, but that'd be the only thing that I wouldn't do it, but I do think Henry isn't
Because,
going to be that good of a play this week, but he could
well,
fall in the end zone a couple times
also,
and make the week worth it.
I think the thing with Derrick Henry is what is shutting down Derrick Henry? Is that still 50 yards and a touchdown? Like that to me is shutting him
Yeah,
down. So if that's
true.
the case, then I still like him moving forward with that play. And yeah, Claypool with
Ooh,
Deontay Johnson coming back,
I want to go.
there's no way I can sit here and say for sure. play him.
I wouldn't say start him over Julio or
No,
Diggs.
no
No.
way.
I'm going to go back to the question about the quarterbacks. Just looking at these games right now, uh, Carolina plays the Falcons on Thursday Night Football, so 100% Teddy Bridgewater. I'm just going to go over these stats one more time because I think that they're insane. These are insane stats that Atlanta is giving up this year against quarterbacks right now. Atlanta, they have given up the most passing yards, the highest yards per attempt, the highest passer rating, most passes of 20 yards or more at 29 plays of 20 yards or more. Third highest completion percentage. So like their defense is abysmal.
Who's
Their
playing?
secondary is
Carolina. They playing
um,
Carolina.
Carolina and uh,
Atlanta.
the Falcons on Thursday night.
Yeah,
So yes, I would go Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's a very
I
good play
agree.
this week. Well, week 8, looking into the
They're
future.
just a offense that will do whatever it takes to win, and you could maybe even see a rushing TD by Teddy Bridgewater. Who knows?
Yeah, and thank you for saying that because he's had his highest rushing total last week. Yes, he had 8 rushes for I think it was 48 yards or 46 yards, so highest rushing total. So maybe that's a trend going forward as he gets more comfortable. And then he also just has great receiving options on the outside. So yes. All right,
Yeah.
let's go into real quick because we have a Twitter question here. So I'm going to ask you this, Kyle, and let's get through this quick because we just have a couple more minutes here before we should probably end this. Um, Juju or CD? Who you going?
Um.
Quick. Who you going?
Yeah. I'm going. I think just because of pure targets and receptions, I'm gonna go Juju. Again, Michael Gallup is Andy Dalton's favorite guy. CD will be better later in the year, not right now.
I'm going to go CD. Juju just hasn't been getting it done, and I think with Johnson coming back, uh, Juju, I'm sorry.
He
I
did get
love you,
it done in the
Juju, but
first
it
two
just
weeks,
hasn't
though.
been working.
He did have 3 touchdowns the
He
first two
did. He
weeks.
did.
So
But touchdowns are hard to come by.
not when you're going
Um,
against a bad
any other questions
secondary.
in the chat? Any
Yeah.
other questions in the chat? We're going to wrap this up here. Honestly, if you are still listening, we really appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. It really does mean a lot. It's been very fun. These are always fun. The live streams are fun. I really enjoy. I'm sure Kyle enjoys it too. I don't want to speak for him, but I enjoy answering any questions, interacting with everybody. It's very fun. So we thank you. And I gotta go into the stadium here. Falcons or Washington's defense? Me personally, I would go Washington against
Uh,
Dallas. Dallas right now.
49ers,
Zach
you mean?
Martin's not playing.
Did you mean 49ers?
Oh, who did I say?
You said Falcons.
Falcons? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Washington. I'm going Washington. Washington's defense against Dallas, who Dallas right now offensively, they're just having so many injuries on that offensive line. Now Zach Martin's out this week. They only have one healthy offensive lineman starting that was their week 1 starter. So yes, Washington.
Bucks D
Bucks
for
D or
sure,
Packers
100%,
defense?
no question.
Packers, yes. Or not Packers, I'm sorry. Bucks defense,
Yeah.
yes. They look like maybe the best defense in the NFL, right there with the Steelers. So they look
And
really good. So I would
even and
go
you got to
Packers
keep in
defense.
consideration if that is the case, if the Steelers defense, if you think they're the best defense in the league, Deshaun Watson did put up 3 touchdowns against them in the first quarter, shut them out in the second half, but still, I mean, those 3 touchdowns alone could lose you this week. So if that's what Watson got, is what I'm saying. But yeah, let's wrap it up. This will be the end of the stream. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Anybody who has, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Anybody who's chatting here, we appreciate it. We love you. Tune in tonight, 7:15 ish. We'll be live. We'll answer any more questions you got. Maybe if you want to come yell at us because you lost money, that's fine too. Come do that. But remember, do that tonight and come sit with us again. Come chill with us. We appreciate it. So that'll be it. Thank you guys for tuning in and say bye, Tyler. Say bye.
Oh yeah, hey. Like Kyle said, thank you. Honestly, it means a lot to us. We really do appreciate it. Good luck in everything, your bets, fantasy, whatever it may be. Remember, I'll say this all the time: go with your gut, because people like us, we can give you stats, we can tell you who you like, who we like, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's your decision. Just go with your gut. Pick the guys that you want, and best of luck. So thank you for watching.
All right. See you
Thanks.
soon,
We
extras.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. See you guys.